The Black Country.
The little one, by the way, is devil worship.
They're not there. Okay. Help. Do you want help? Somebody else want help?
The little one is devil worship.
What was that wooden thing? You got the wooden. I didn't get the wooden thing. Can you hold the wooden lock-up cord so that I can get to Can I have a look at that? It's a good part. They should be inside as well. The cheese. Okay.
The shoe came from wall by the fireplace, and if you had hundreds of years ago, if you had a troublesome ghost, the idea was to put an old boot in the wall, and I just moved the stone away, and that's what I found. This old boot is 500 years old. It's all down one side, look, so it must have been a very fat person, I imagine. There's fat people in them days, they look at it.
I get everywhere, don't you?
Right.
What? You want the shoe? Laura's assistant there.
I imagine you all know about ley lines, do you? Ley line begins at Stonehenge. The church here is another Stonehenge there. And it goes to Bath. From Bath it comes to an abbey half a mile away, and then it goes to the Ram, and that's why Stuart in Most Haunted was flung to the ground. It's on the ley line. Goes to the church, and goes 7 man-made steps in the hillside, the same as Glastonbury Tor. Then another one comes from London into Wales. So there you are. No one, all the ghost hunters, all the years I've been here, have ever seen anything like that. There's about 200, maybe more, orbs. And the more you look at it, the more you see. Quite incredible, that is. The orb sightings here, according to what ghost hunters tell me, are simply unbelievable. They've shown me photographs outside in the daytime and night time. There must be thousands. You couldn't count them. It's a vast amount. There's something sacred, something special about this pot. And the motorcyclist here, there's a motorcyclist killed on his wedding day before I bought the Ram 50 years ago, and his ghost still appears. Unfortunately you can't go up on the roof because fat people have caused the stairs to collapse, and I do a lot of deep spiritual thinking on a chair, a seat over there, and look what they photograph over my head. A haunted grandfather clock on the land end. Now when you look at it, hopefully you might get what a lot of other people get. Pass that round and look in there in the clock, and you should see faces.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The photograph of the ghost in there was photographed by 2 vicars, Church of England vicars. They've got their own private club, by the way, ghost club. So obviously they believe in ghosts. There's a face in there, that one, look. And on the other side is a big orb in the roof.
It's weird, isn't it?
That's strange.
Yeah, I know.
Really? Land. loads of them.
Some of them are really well defined as well. But
Yeah.
into
Up in the roof, a thick smoke or mist appears, and out of it comes a 13-year-old girl who was murdered up there by highwaymen. Under the stairs, where the ghost appears, it goes into earth, which is very strange because everywhere else is flagstones. Now that leads you to believe the stairs originally went down to the cellar. Now, I do know for a fact that my fireplace has got an ash pit. It's a well, actually. And I said to the landlady at this pub, how did you get the ashes out? They said it goes into the cellar. So that's probably why it's an earth floor there, because stairs originally went down below. Well, I took that photograph and just look at the skull that came out. A bit gruesome, isn't it? Now my roof of the barn, I've had that put on about 25 years ago now. It's a 500-year-old barn. The farmer was pulling it down, and I got the builders to transfer it from there to here. And that meant the barn, the new roof, was 3 feet wider than what my barn was. So the builders had to get permission to knock the back wall down and rebuild it out 3 feet. Well, as you know, when you build a wall, are there any builders here? No? You have to build a trench to fill it with concrete. And what they found was a row of post holes there that had been dated 7,500 years old. That's before Adam and Eve. So there's something special about this spot here. Ghost hunters very often go to the church night times, and that's the sort of thing they get. It's very haunted over there, where children were sacrificed. And do you know that's in the Bible? I don't suppose anybody's familiar with the Bible today, but when I was young, everybody understood the Bible. In the first chapter, Genesis, God tests Abraham's faith. Take your son Isaac and kill him. Sacrifice him. God? Telling someone to kill his own son? He didn't mean it. It was only a test to see if he'd be obedient. Right? Halfway up the mountain, it suddenly dawns on the boy, what are we going to sacrifice? And he asks Abraham, Father, where's the lamb? Christ is called the Lamb of God, sacrificed. And Abraham says God will provide himself a lamb. That satisfies the boy. He don't know he's going to be the sacrifice. Right? They get on top of the mountain. He says, by the way, here's the fire in my one hand, and here's the dagger in the other. I want you to remember the dagger, because the first night in the ram, when I was grabbed by the hand, an archaeologist came here. First of all, a diviner came here because of a secret tunnel. And he said, John, you've got bodies under your bed. So archaeologists came digging the floor up, and broken daggers came up. You'll see them in the glass case. Now when that comes up with the body, that means it was a ritual killing. They break the daggers so they can only be used once. Very interesting, right? forgot what I was saying. My memory is terrible. What did I get up to?
Abraham.
Abraham, oh yes. Right. The boy doesn't know he's going to be sacrificed. He gets to the top of the hill. His father ties him up. He's just about to plunge the dagger into his son. The angel stops him and says, "Stop it, Abraham. This is only a test to see if you'll be obedient." And I shiver every time I think of this. When Abraham turns round, what does he see caught by his horns? And what's the name of this?
Ram.
I know. But if you don't think that's spooky, I do. When you think of all the hundreds and hundreds of names pubs are called for this one on a cross ley line, a very haunted house where children were sacrificed, the same as in the Bible, it's too spooky to understand. John Wesley, the man who founded the Methodist Church, was haunted the same as I am by this sex demon. That's just showing you orbs. That is a strange thing. I don't know what it is. It's some mist or something. The window behind you there is where a face appears, and it's in that window there. If you look close enough, you should see a face.
Like a silhouette. Profile.
Can you lift that up, someone, please? Thank you. Just want to move that away. Put it on there now. And there. Who's a good person for reading?
Sorry, see you at the back.
No.
They won't understand me. They'll understand you because you're all... You good?
Okay, I'll have a go.
Is that 85?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
The bottom paragraph, please. Listen to this.
Another murder victim to return in spectral form is an unfortunate woman who came to a violent end at the Ram Inn at Wootton Under Edge, near a private house. The young woman is said to have been kidnapped, robbed and murdered by a pair of highwaymen who used the inn as their base in the late 18th century. The room where the poor woman was strangled is now known as the Bishop's Room and retains a dark, grim atmosphere. A few years ago, the former Bishop of Gloucester, the Right Reverend John Yates, visited the house and went up to the Bishop's Room. He later told the local newspaper that it's the most evil place I've ever had the misfortune to visit.
Thank you. When a bishop says that, yeah, you've got to take it serious. Now, can you open that one to where it's... I can't...
Which
A
part?
picture of the ram.
Oh.
Oh, it should open... where your thumb is, maybe. Go back that way. No, go back that
The other
way.
way. Oh, it might be alphabetical.
Go back a bit more. There's a picture of the ram, anyway. A full-page picture.
We're in Gloucestershire, but
I think it's more at the other end.
it goes to Stroud here.
If you flick it through like that, you should open up. So there,
Oh, right, okay.
that just showing that.
Can you see
And
that?
right up about the ghosts.
Do you want a picture, Donna?
Now, for your interest, open that one, please, Blair.
Where the marker is.
Where the marker is. And you'll see game there. There's only 2 of those games in the whole of Gloucestershire. The other one's in Gloucester Cathedral, and mine is 200 years older than what's in Gloucester Cathedral. That's 1,000 years old.
Isn't it, Dad?
If you look beneath the ram's head, you will see scratches in the wall, stonemason's marks. Okay, put that one down there, please. Okay. John Wesley's haunted picture on the stairs. This is weird. Recently, well, 6 months ago perhaps now, a film crew came to the Ram on a Sunday, all arranged, because it seems I am the only one who will talk freely about the incubus. I laugh and joke about it. Whereas to other people it's a matter of horror and fright, but I think it's hilarious. It's a good job I don't take it serious, otherwise I'd have to pack up and go. Right, I'm sat in the other room, sat like there on a seat, facing the camera where you are with Madam with the hair, and with the recording equipment each side of me, wooden people along the back, listening to what I'm saying, because they don't believe a word of it. And 20 times I said the word incubus. Everything stopped, cut out, and refused to be filmed. 20 times. Now the film crew was horrified. They come all the way from London to make a film about me talking about it, and it just refused to be filmed. How about that? So that's what it's all about. Sex with ghosts. Can you open that one, please? If you pass that round, you will see hundreds of stars and orbs taken by ghost hunters.
You got some mist on yours, didn't you, earlier? You got mist.
Yeah.
If you had a magnifying glass, you would see them clearly. That's in the other next room.
It's a big one there, got that close, haven't you?
Mm.
Now, if I told you to answer my question, who is Israel in the world today, you'd have a job to answer that, wouldn't you? Well, I know, because when I came out of the RAF, I joined something called British Israel. And haven't you ever wondered, I'm not preaching to you, I'm telling you history. Haven't you ever wondered how God has protected this island ever since we've been a nation? The Roman Catholic, only Roman Catholics here. I don't want to upset anybody's belief. But the Roman Catholic religion came here with William the Conqueror. Before that, we didn't have any religion, I don't think. It was just a pagan island. But Henry VIII, they had the whole of England to themselves. The whole of the wealth of this nation was going back to Rome. And the people of this country were kept in utter poverty as slaves. And it wasn't until Henry VIII came on the throne, he destroyed the Roman power. Well, the Pope got Henry VIII to get up a big armada. The Pope got King Philip of Spain to get up a massive 150 warships. All we had was one, the Mary Rose. Look what happened to the Mary Rose. First trip out, it sunk. We had nothing to defend this island. But we've always had the right people at the right time. Drake and all those people set fire to the fishing boats and sent them towards this big armada. And they were waiting, by the way, for the French fleet to join one side and the Dutch fleet the other. We never had a leg to stand on. Well, they set fire to the fishing boats, and the big fear of wooden ships was fire. And to see this lot of little fishing boats coming towards him, and Queen Elizabeth brought a coin out, and God changed the wind. It blew them all around England, wrecking them. All around, who did that then? Well, the next one was Napoleon. There's pictures of Napoleon. What's up?
I just heard something.
Eh?
I just heard something.
Yeah, I know. Scurrying sound. Scurrying, yeah.
You will find stairs are very haunted here, even those. And right,
That was weird.
are there any weird people here tonight?
Oh, we're all
We're all
weird.
weird.
Okay. The last one was Dover, my home. We were 20 miles away from Hitler and his generals. Has anyone seen the film The Battle of Britain? Good. Then you'll remember it begins with, I'm not sure if it's Hitler, but it's the head of the German Air Force, Goering, and all his generals. I got pictures of all this, photographs of it, on the cliffs of France, looking at Dover, 20 miles away. All we had was Dad's army. Against the mighty German army, Dad's army. What a sick joke. But our king called this nation to national days of prayer. Now, whether you believed in religion or not didn't matter. The churches were chock-a-block with everybody seeking God, praying for deliverance. Well, there's Hitler saying, look, they're finished. Leave them alone. We'll see to them when we've done Russia. Well, of course, Napoleon did that mistake, didn't he? Once they get caught in the Russian winter, they're fucked. You would have thought he had known better. But of course, who put that in Hitler's mind? Nobody dare argue with him. Well, I can show you here who Israel is. If you lived in Dover, and I did in the war, you believe in God, all right. And our MP did, our Prime Minister. This begins with Adam and Eve, but they're not the first on earth, you know. That's a deliberate lie to say that. There are known civilizations on this earth thousands of years before Adam and Eve. This is all recorded. But when you get here to King David, the friend of God, God has always preserved Israel, and God's promise to King David, he would never ever want for a descendant to sit on the throne of Israel. But that means that somewhere in the world today there's either a king or a queen in a direct line of King David. Well, if you looked at this, there, look, see that? Going right down there. And who's the one at the bottom? Who does it say?
Elizabeth II.
Queen Elizabeth. She knows about this, but nothing's made of it. I think that's awful, because I remember the king calling this nation to national days of prayer when we would beat on our knees, and God answered those prayers, mate. You and I wouldn't be here today if he hadn't. What I've got here is so precious, I can't pass these round, I don't think. I'll hold them up for you. I'm not sure. It's in here. Maybe it's in this one now. Oh. Thank you. No, I don't think it's in that one. Oh, it's not in that one. Not in that one. Not in that one. Something's not here. What it is, it's all the orbs. Oh, it's this one here. Oh, could you pull it out for me, please, my hand in agony? I should really have said don't come tonight. Now, the Bristol ghost hunters have actually took these photographs. Now, and it shows you orbs in the barn floor flashing about. Orbs appear always as round, but those are egg-shaped because they're flashing about in the floor. And they've told the time team at Bristol, they've shown them these photographs and also told them about the post holes. And it's just simply got to be investigated, hasn't it? Now, I'm not going to let you handle these because this is in the barn. No one saw that there, but the camera caught it. Look, it's very important, and above my head you should see a big red orb. Is it? Can you see it?
Yeah, there in the wood.
So there's somewhere you've got to do. Now this is given to me recently, showing night time. Someone took that photograph of all the orbs over the ram. Look. Now these are simply staggering, and they are getting mutilated, but just look at the stars over my head. That's on the ley line out there in the car park. Can you see them? You must have better eyesight than I. I got long distance sight. And here's another one. Same. Can you see?
Yeah.
This is my daughter. We've had 2 Rottweilers, and that's supposed to be the devil's dog. No problems with them whatever. The only problems is when people knock on the French doors. They go bananas. Oh, that's it then. Well, I think that's the lot then. The most recent extraordinary photograph here taken about a month ago, and it's on the internet because so they tell me anyway. Just have a look at that. That's beneath the bishop's room, the centre bed. Now the centre bed in the bishop's room is about one of the most haunted spots in the Ram. The incubus has appeared there right from day one. Because when my wife was here, that was the first room we got ready, and people were complaining something got in bed.
Is this where by the toilets?
Hmm?
Where is this in the house?
In the bishop's room.
That's the bishop's room.
Yes. Oh no, it's under the bishop's room.
Below the bishop's room.
Bishop's room is above it.
Right.
The middle bed, double
Yeah.
bed.
Looks like 2 people in there.
Look at that.
Can't
Extraordinary sight.
I think it does.
Thanks for some of it. Good prayer.
Well, I hope you've been listening. I should be asking questions now. There you are. My voice is going to go in a minute. I can't talk anymore. Best of luck with your ghost hunting.
So can we carry on and leave you in peace now, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you
You
very
can come down and make a cup of tea if you want in that room, but don't mind me. It's far too cold up there, my bedroom, and also there's rats getting in there. The earth now is right up to that beam, the other side. Now, the earth should be down here. They've allowed the earth to build up before I bought it there, look. And that is a doorway, not a window, going up out through there. Any questions, by the way? Right. I can't come with you upstairs. I haven't got the energy.
No,
We'll be fine,
on
thank
our
you.
own. We won't make any noise. Hopefully.
And
We won't make any noise.
you make much noise as you like. Don't you worry about that. I won't hear you. I shall sleep like a log. But if you want to come down and have a warm chat and warm, please
Thank
come
you.
down. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks for the
I'm
tours.
sorry. I'm have to impose on your room there because that's your room really. But it's far too cold for me up there. I'm freezing. Feel my hands.
Oh, really cold. Bitter.
That is